This week, we're exploring the mystery of the Maya pyramids. The Maya were the greatest pyramid builders of the ancient world. The Egyptians built fewer than 100. The Maya built thousands. Every Maya town and city had its own pyramid. Why? Could it be the pyramid of one great Maya king holds the key? We're about to find out. He made his journey into the underworld.
Right, this is the entrance, or the exit.
Our quest will take us deep into the mountains and jungles of Central America. Hold on to your hats, it's gonna be one wild ride. I'll be whitewater kayaking on remote mountain rivers in Guatemala and diving into the flooded underground caves of Mexico. We're digging for the truth, and we're going to extremes to do it.
Ready for the plunge?
Ready for the plunge, baby.
Pyramids. The ancient Maya built thousands of these amazing structures all over Central America. We know that pyramids were the center of Maya life, but what we don't know is why.
To find out, we're going to visit one of the greatest Maya pyramids ever built and learn about the extraordinary man who created it, King Pakal the Great. Our quest will start in the city Pakal built in southern Mexico, Palenque. And I've got a lot of airports to get through on the way.
New one, just in case I lose the old one. How many bags does he fit on a trolley in Mexico? What? Coming through. 4 people, 4 flights, 17 bags. I'm excited. I want to see every room. I want to see the Tomb of Inscriptions. I want to see all the palaces at Palenque. I have some questions I definitely like to get answers to. But to be 10 miles away, this is a journey of a lifetime.
Tomorrow morning, I'm finally going to explore the place I've been waiting to get to all these years, Palenque.
It's dawn, and the jungle is coming alive. And everywhere are the most amazing ruins. "1,400 years ago, the city's most famous ruler, Pakal the Great, built the most beautiful temples the Mayan world has ever seen."
From 632 to 683 AD, while Europe was still in the Dark Ages, the Maya world was flourishing, and Pakal was creating this great city. They say he was a ruthless warlord, but he must have been a great architect, too. Even in ruins, his city is incredibly impressive. As I walk around the ancient palace, I try to imagine what this city was like in Pakal's day. The crowds of Maya warriors, the traders, and the nobles he would have seen as he walked around Palenque back in the 7th century. Pakal planned the entire city, but he saved his greatest creation for last. The astonishing pyramid built to commemorate his own death, the Temple of the Inscriptions. It's the biggest tomb created for a single man anywhere in the ancient Americas. I've come here to meet Mexican archaeologist Alfonso Morales, who's a well-known expert on Pakal.
Alfonso? Hi, I'm Josh. Mucho gusto.
As we climb the 69 steps of Pakal's tomb, Alfonso explains to me that when Pakal built this pyramid, he believed he was building a sacred mountain.
He's trying to build a mountain, he said? Mm-hmm. Well, why build a mountain here, though, and there's a mountain right there?
I think he wanted to create his own cave to put his tomb inside.
His own cave.
The caves are normally a place where you go to the underworld, when you can talk to the gods, and the place where you start your trip to the other world.
So there's a cave inside here?
Yes, to understand it, we need to go inside and take a look at it.
An artificial mountain with a cave in it, an entry to the underworld. Were these somehow the keys to Pakal's pyramid? Fortunately, there are hieroglyphs that tell Pakal's story. And when archaeologists finally broke the Maya code, they read of a strange underworld journey that Pakal's spirit would take after his death. It started from a cave in a mountain.
And this is it?
Yes, this is the most sacred place at Palenque. The entrance to the underworld. I will go down to Pakal's tomb.
Lead the way.
The stairway seems to go down into the blackness forever. It's narrow and steep, and the limestone steps are slick with condensation. It would be all too easy to slip, and it's a long, long way to the bottom. It really feels like I'm going down into the underworld. And Alfonso tells me the Maya were obsessed with the underworld. It was their gateway to immortality. Pakal believed that after he died, he'd journey for 2.5 years, meeting the gods and demons of creation along the way. He was sure he'd finally be reborn as a god himself. Finally, we get to the bottom of the stairway and find the tomb.
So this is it. This is his cave.
This is the famous cave of Pakal.
And there's the sarcophagus. Amazing. And from here, he made his journey into the underworld.
Right, this is the entrance, or the exit to the other world.
Depending how you look at it.
Yeah. And his body is here. His soul or his spirit is already gone to the other side of the cave.
2.5 years after he was placed here. It's beautiful. Cave of Pakal. In the mountain of Pakal.
Exactly.
On the sarcophagus lid is a great carving of Pakal frozen in the moment of his death, falling into the cave of the underworld as he starts his journey. And then Alfonso gives me the most intriguing piece of the puzzle about Pakal's pyramid. The Maya believed that his spirit would be carried from his sacred mountain cave by a river. Pakal's journey to the afterlife was a journey down a subterranean river. But there's no river at Palenque. Alfonso tells me this was a river in the spirit world, but that it was modeled on a real underground river elsewhere.
In a cave, a place where the water comes out.
The Yucatan contains the world's largest system of natural wells and underground rivers. There are over 1,000 wells and hundreds of miles of water-filled tunnels running beneath the limestone surface of the peninsula. They're called cenotes, and there's nothing like them anywhere else on the planet. I've got a hunch that Pakal's concept of the underworld might have been modeled on these real subterranean rivers. I'm not going to pass up the chance to explore these cenotes for myself, so I've teamed up with famous cenote diver Pablo Diaz, who's going to be my guide. The underwater world of the cenotes is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. The water is 75 degrees and crystal clear. There are stalactites everywhere. And beyond them, tunnels and caves stretch away in every direction into the blackness. Only about a third of the huge cenote system has ever been explored. That's because it's so dangerous. Many experienced divers have drowned in these flooded tunnels. Since I don't want to be one of them, Pablo and I swim back towards the cenote entrance by a different route. The network of tunnels seems to be endless, and away from the light, they all look the same. I can see how easy it would be to get lost down here. The experience of the cenotes is eerie and awe-inspiring.
This is stunning. The second you dive in, you're transported to another world. Clearly, the Maya did not have scuba gear, but even if one just held their breath and dove into the cenotes and saw these caverns and the caves behind them and the tubes that interconnect them, there's something there. There's a sense of being transported to another place.
To investigate Maya beliefs about the cenotes further, I've come to the Maya city of Chichen Itza in the Yucatan. Chichen Itza flourished between the 8th and 12th centuries. It sits squarely on top of the cenote system, and I've heard it was an important ritual center. I'm on my way to meet archaeologist Rafael Cobos, who I hope can tell me more.
Rafael?
Hi.
Mucho gusto, I'm Josh.
Welcome.
What was it about Chichen Itza that was so important?
At Chichen Itza, we have the sacred cenote.
Why was the cenote considered sacred?
It's the entrance to the underworld. Pilgrims came during pre-Hispanic times from all over the Yucatan Peninsula. For the pilgrims, that was the entrance to Xibalba, the underworld.
Wow. This is the sacred cenote.
That's right. This is the entrance to Xibalba.
It's beautiful.
The Great Cenote is stunning, but how do we know it was an entrance to Xibalba, the Maya underworld? It seems that from the time of the Spanish conquest of the Americas in the 16th century, stories had circulated of strange blood rituals performed here in which children were sacrificed to the gods of the underworld. To see if these stories were true, one of the very first archaeologists of the Maya, Edward Thompson, decided to dredge the cenote in 1904. He found lots of evidence of ritual offerings. At first, it was only objects, figures of gold and jade. But eventually, he found shocking confirmation of the old stories about the cenote: human bones. Lots of them. The Maya of Chichen Itza were performing human sacrifices, offering their victims to the gods of Xibalba.
So the priests would actually throw bodies into the cenote?
That's right.
Where? Where would they do it?
From that temple, located on the southern edge,
The gruesome ceremonies at the Great Cenote are more evidence the Maya really did believe cenotes were entrances to the underworld, where the gods and demons of creation lived. But are these the actual subterranean rivers Pakal believed he would travel down after death? Now I really want to explore them more.
Where are we off to?
This site is called Temple of Doom.
Really?
I'm hot on the trail of the secrets of Maya pyramids. At the ruins of Palenque, I discovered that King Pakal believed his pyramid was a symbolic entrance to the Maya underworld. That led me to explore the stunning subterranean caves and rivers called cenotes, which the Maya believed were the real entrances to the underworld.
I understood that there's a parallel between the pyramids and